I swear to God, I wasn't really going for HAL 9000 impersonation here. Hi, I'm Matt and this is 9FTech. Today we continue our experiments with Zigbee2MQTT, and this is CC2531 Zigbee sniffer I've talked about and flashed before. So if you have one and you want to flash one without buying a debugger or something like that, there is a link in here. Just follow it and in 3 minutes you'll be ready to do whatever I'm doing right now. So with that in mind, let's talk about a Zigbee protocol. You know, I have Agara devices like this cube or a button, and I have a IKEA stuff like this switch, and both working off the box with this. They are supported with a library, and all you have to do really is pair it. And I'm not going to go through pairing process because all it really takes is plug this in, get this close, press reset, hold it for a few seconds, and all the instructions are already listed out there. What I'm going to talk about is this. And I promise this is not HAL 9000, it's a shoddy job. This is actually a spotlight or downlight, and it is equipped with LED Zigbee driver. It's RGB, it's really bright, really cool, and I like it. It's going to be a full review of this light and why do I think it's awesome. Now, because it's a Zigbee, and because it's some Chinese brand I never heard of, doesn't mean it's bad, we need to connect it to the sniffer. And that's what is this video about, because this device, it's not listed on the list of supporting devices, which means we have to add it as a new device. Thankfully, Zigbee comes with some sort of standards, which means this is not as hard as you think. It took me a while to figure out, and my tip is keep this very close to your MQTT to Zigbee stick, because Zigbee2MQTT stick, because after being fed up for a while, I went downstairs to continue in the more comfortable environment, eating some food and working on this, and I spent the next 2 hours trying to troubleshoot this while this was outside of the range. Oh, don't do this. Anyway, now that I'm in the same room as my Zigbee stick, I'll show you how to get that connected, how to add new devices, and how to use them in Node-RED. So what happens when you have a device that isn't supported off the box and you have to add it yourself? First of all, you should check the manual for the device how to reset it. So in this case, there is a small reset button. All I have to do is hold it until it bleeps. Now, keep your Zigbee2MQTT stick quite close. And then proceed to reset the device. So in this case, for this LED driver, all I have to do is press the button, hold it a couple of seconds, and it will blink. Now in your message log, you'll see that a new device has been detected. However, it's not going to be added without further configurations. Now it will tells you that there is a new device connected. It will give you a message for this device, and it will also tells you to check a reference manual how to add a new device. You are fortunate enough. I'm using the Docker in here. You don't have to use the Docker. It's just it gives me feedback from the command line. That's all it is. That's why it looks so strange. But this is the information you're going to be given when a new device is added, but it's not supported off the box. Now, to add this device, there's a couple of things you'll have to do. First of all, in your installation, if you run a Docker, you probably have to access this in a special way. What I did, I've copied the file out of the Docker so I could edit it on my local machine and add new devices. But first of all, you have to change the name in configuration. Now, in a configuration YAML file, you have to just navigate to your Zigbee installation. You'll see configuration YAML. Open that file, and once you've paired it, you should see this device being at the end of yours, and you can add it a friendly name. So let's call it Spotlight. Okay, and Spotlight 1, and let's close it. Now, once this is done, the configuration won't apply until you restart your Zigbee, so I'm going to restart it now. So all you have to do in my case is just, because I'm running a container, just restart the container. And then if I'm gonna go to a log, you'll see that this device is going to be called now a Spotlight 1. This means it's already on the light and you can see it in here. Right, that's not end of it because we cannot still control this. Now, in order to control this device, we need to add it to devices. Now, if you are running in a container, you have to dig into a container and get the file there, copy it out and edit it and send it back. If you're just running a normal Node-RED installation, you'll be able to navigate to this path and get a file called devices.js. So you will see a template in here. I've added it already. This device, it's called Zemismart, and this is the configuration now. There isn't much. All you have to really add is the model, and the Zigbee model is going to be from the back of the case, some information, descriptions, but the most important, it's going to be these two lines. Now, you've noticed I've commented them out because there is another way you can do it. I found that this driver works. And where did I get this configuration from? This extend, basically, it's a ready library that fills in the from Zigbee and to Zigbee parameters. Now, if you scroll up to a very beginning of this file, you will see these configurations available. First, you have a generic configuration, then you have a GLED opter, and then you have hue configuration available as well. Now, those are three default different drivers, and if you look closely into mine, you will see that they are actually adding those two lines. They adding a from Zigbee and they adding to Zigbee. And in my case, I was actually able just substitute, because I've tried all three. It's really quickly. I've tried all three, and I was able to substitute that into the my configuration. So all I had to do is just use the command extend, then use the prefix, which is GLED opto, and then supported protocols, because this has brightness, color temperature, and color overlay, and that's how basically it works for my light. So I can toggle it on and off, I can set the colors and set the brightness levels. So it seems to be working fine with the brightness levels and colors, so that's the file I've picked. So once you do that, push the file back to correct directory, and then obviously you can restart your Zigbee. Now, a couple of words of notice. Sometimes you'll be asked to make conversions of the of your values. This is not something I had to do, and in all honesty, I've not something I know how to do it yet, because I didn't come across any device in my collection that required it. So if I'm gonna come across something that needs this, I'll learn some more, and I know you'll have to translate the values we receive into values that the system can read. There are tutorials online on the Zigbee2MQTT, so you can try and see if that helps you out to establish proper communication. With my Zemismart downlight, I didn't have to do it, it worked directly as it is. So once you've got this, all you have to do is just go restart your Zigbee. So let's do that really quick, and then go to your Node-RED, and then we can start pushing the information in and out. Now, it's quite easy. So for example, if you want to set a status, you sending a status to Zigbee2MQTT, which is my default MQTT topic, then the device name, in this case this is Spotlight 1, and then there is set command, which means we're gonna set it, and in a similar manner, when we're gonna get the device information, we have a Zigbee2MQTT, which is default, we have a Spotlight 1, and we have get. So let's deploy it and let's try it out. And as you can see, the lamp went off, and let's turn it on. The lamp is on. Let's change the color to orange. Works. So how do you change the colors? You have a couple of ways you can actually adjust the values. I've picked the hex because the hex is the easier to pick, and this is the format of your JSON that you're supposed to pass to MQTT in order to operate it. So you have your state, you have your color, you have your brightness, you have a temperature color for the brightness, and you have your actual hex color. And you can also work with RGB values and also like X, Y, and XZ values to set the colors with 2 variables. You can pick your own method. Like I said, hex is good enough for me, and that seems to be working just fine, so that's why I went for it. Lastly, what if you want to obtain the status from your new device? In this case, what you have to do, you have a command state which you submit as a JSON, so state and an empty value, and you set it to the get request via MQTT. So you're gonna get Zigbee, your default topic, then the name of the device, and then get. Now, to receive this, you have to read into the main channel of messages, so Zigbee and then device name, and if you set the message log to entire flow, you will receive, or even payload, you will receive the following status updates containing your state, your link quality, brightness, colors into values, and the color temperature if supported as well, etc. So that's how you add new devices to Zigbee. That's pretty much everything. Now, like I said, I was not able to try the conversions of the units because my device is well supported and uses the standard protocols, so I'm sorry if you were looking for this information. Maybe next time when I have a different device. But if you're interested how to add the devices that are outside of the specified devices, then this is how you do it. As for now, guys, thanks so much for watching. I don't have a posting schedule, so if you're interested in updates and videos and tutorials, either follow me on social media or use the notification bell on YouTube to get alerted when I post something new. Thanks so much for watching again, and see you next time. Take care.